I have Strange Legend, the entire band here with me, an unsigned band out of Los Angeles that formed in 2017. They have a self-titled EP out right now, and their latest single, "I Can't Breathe," is starting to take off. And I'm gonna bring your music to people, and I want them to hear it, and I'm gonna tell them I have a band here called Strange Legend, and the first question they're gonna ask me, of course, is, "Cool, what do they sound like?" So for you guys, what do you feel like your music sounds like?
Well, for us, to be honest, it's rock and roll. We play rock and roll. You know, no matter what you say, you know, nowadays or any era, they tell you hard rock. You know, they're gonna pick whatever they want.
Yeah, we got a lot of Guns N' Roses influences, and I can see that with his crazy voice. But
so at the end of the day, you know, we always say that we play rock and roll. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the best way to describe it. You know?
Yeah, and that's what we love, you know, definitely. Tell me how the writing process works for you guys. Is it a collaborative thing, or do one of you guys? I know Tony is involved with a lot of writing. I know that for a fact. Is it does Tony bring in all the stuff and then you tweak it, or how's it work exactly?
Well, so far,
it's a cat.
In this last few years before Gary came into the picture. Being the one writing most of the music, and then I bring the riffs, and I structure the whole song, and then I bring it to these guys, the bass player and the drums, and they, do their own thing. I don't butt into their territory.
Not too much.
And that's a good atmosphere, to be creative, And then we had the band, since you said 2017, and we had another singers, but they were struggling kind of a bit.
They had a really hard time picking stuff up, coming up with lyrics, melodies.
Trying to work on any.
Yeah, it was difficult.
Or trying to work on stuff at all was kind of an issue. Yeah,
it was difficult having to and then we needed material to get out there and start playing shows. And then I said, and then I started with that song "Can't Breathe." I had some lyrics written down, and I said, "Hey, try this." The guy liked it. He picked it up. He started doing his own thing, and then ever since I've been writing most of the lyrics until Gary came into the picture, and we co-wrote a new song that is on the EP.
Yeah, we also have a video for it on YouTube. We just put that up last week. It's called "We Only Have Tonight," and
awesome.
It's a freaking fun song, man. I mean, you could jump around your bedroom and knock stuff over with that one. I don't recommend it, but
look at this cat. He's having a good time too.
What was that?
The cat.
The cat having a good time.
Oh yeah, he's here every time, man. I sit down, and I start talking. He comes in, man. It's every single time.
Got to be part of the action.
Does he like rock and roll?
He does. Yeah, this is my goblin right here.
So usually it's like that. I bring the first idea, and they start jumping in on the rest of the stuff. And then Gary, when he came into the picture, he put the songs into another level,
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the thing is
we had Can't Breathe really good, but we knew that it wasn't quite there yet. And when this guy came in, he busted out on the first day, and then we said, "Oh, this is the right guy."
Yeah.
And,
the idea is that I think we all, the four of us are musicians, right? Like you remember in Queen, they all were composing songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tony's the main songwriter because he's probably the best of all of us. In the average of the song he can put, and I think we all of us have also a great. He does amazing, ideas of vocals and riffs. He also have great ideas of restructuring the song and things. I think we all at the end bringing ideas on rewriting song always until we are happy. But sometimes I come with the rough idea like tonight. I brought the idea and I had in my mind
it was
for
an
many
acoustic
years.
song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's crazy when I received it in Machu Picchu. Yeah, that he wanted me to talk about it. I was there doing a hike, in Peru, and I finally had this rock songs, and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm in a fucking spiritual place." But the things are coming on, and then I tried to do it for a few years, but I couldn't redo it. A way I was hearing on my mind, and then I showed it to Tony, and then they begin to play and he had some stuff on the bass. Hey, why did we not do this? He had some stuff on the drums, and it's an evolution. It's like an organic process. we rehearse, and it's always changing. Like even a song that is done for 1 year, we made during COVID, so we only had rehearsal. We didn't have shows for almost 1 year. Just fucking rehearsal in the garage and to say, okay, let's improve. And I think at some point, okay, this is the last version. And then when we realize that we feel
never
something,
the last version
until we record it, and then we can always make it evolve on live when we play live. It's never the same. It's always evolving. I think songs are evolving.
Yeah.
I think they are not even after the recording. You can always make it evolve live and bring it a new reality. But I think it's very lucky that we all four songwriters in a way. That's make the band richer for this.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, to have that chemistry and collaborate and
very rare.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's great to hear. Josh, I gotta ask, did you mix the record or something? Because that bass is up front in the mix, and I love that, man. That's really, those bass lines are just killer. Absolutely killer.
It would be just bass.
He's the guy. He's the guy Metallica missed out on their first album.
Yeah, there you go.
Me and Josh, we got good chemistry because the point is we got only one guitar. I don't want to do the bass to play, the basic notes,
Kind of like a rhythm.
So
bass,
he's kind of like a rhythm bass, to fill out all the spots.
Yeah.
And he's really good at that. If you listen to the acoustic song that we have.
Yeah, the Verge of Bliss.
I listen on the EP.
Yeah, I can't sit still. I gotta keep moving
around. He's the main core of that song. On the bass, if you listen to the bass line on the acoustic song, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So without it, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, because this guy play all the instruments. Yeah. He's probably the only one that play all the instruments.
Except for the drums. But
he can figure it out. He can figure it out. So there's a...
So yeah, having a bass player doing that is really... It makes me play even better. Sometimes I play some stuff that I'm like, well, I think this guy I can improve on this part on that area here and there. So it's a trade that helps a lot when you got another player.
Yeah, I think it gives that guitar a little more freedom when that bass is holding down the other end. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's
especially when solos come up, because I mean, usually with some of these groups, they got a rhythm guitar that's taking care of everything else while the solo's going on. And that's Josh for us. Yeah.
And I love that. I mean,
sometimes he get pissed off on me because I'm the kind of guy that I write stuff on my own and I bring it, and then sometimes they tell me, "What the hell is that?" That's because I take chances. I like to. I don't like to make a whole song all the way through. I like to put breakdowns and key change. Sometimes I don't even know if a key change. I just do it by ear. And then
it's a natural.
This guy,
like this actor is natural.
This guy, Judge. The last song that we had was "We Only Have Tonight." In the middle of the song, we do a breakdown, and I think I do a key change.
Right before the solo, he changes the key. You son of a bitch!
So,
I gotta write a whole new line for you.
So I did that, and it sounded kind of weird at the beginning when you first hear it, but once you start getting used to it and getting on your instrument, and then you start seeing that makes sense, that's when. And I didn't even know these guys are most of the time asking them what key is the song because I got no clue. I'm a Frankenstein on the.
It's a natural
on the guitar.
It's a natural. So like Django Reinhardt, this great manouche jazzman from France. He had only 2 fingers, by the way. He didn't know anything about what he was just doing. And it was probably one of the best guitarists of all time in this manouche jazz.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, like I said, like Gary said, it's a creative process. Like at the end of the day, I bring the idea, or these guys bring the idea, and it's a collective effort.
Yeah.
The ultimate product that you hear is the collective effort from the whole band.
Always, it's always
because if you're missing one element, it doesn't sound the same.
Oh, sure.
So, with the same quality, and that's one of the things that I see always. I've been seeing in the last few years in most bands that there's always an element that is missing. It's not like one of those rock and roll bands that we used to know, that the whole band was pulling up with the same force,
Mm-hmm.
You had the guitars, and you had the drums, and you had the bass, and you have the vocals, and you have the songs. So that's what's been missing nowadays. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yeah,
That's my take on it.
I would agree. I would agree. There's a lot of bands that have key members and then the others. You know, and that's great. If that guy's great, and that's what you like to hear, if it's a guitar player or a drummer or a singer, whatever it might be. But it's great to hear a band chemistry, something that comes at you full force, and with the songwriting that's the ultimate package. Really is. Yeah. Did you produce this yourself?
Yeah, all of us basically we're the producer of the whole thing.
Yeah,
So
well,
we hooked up with Tim. No,
with
go ahead.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was just gonna mention, where is he from? Like Eagle Rock? It's like Eagle
No, he's
Rock.
from New Zealand.
Well, he's from New
We
Zealand.
have
but
a
it's
Eagle
Eagle
Rock.
Kiwi,
Yeah.
Eagle Rock.
Kiwi
Eagle
Trump
Rock.
in ourselves.
guy.
We met this amazing guy. Talk
Yeah,
about him.
Tim. His studio is called York Studios. It's in Eagle Rock, and Tony found this place, and I mean, I just remember the first day we went there. Like, it's kind of, I can't say it's confined, but it's a little small, but spacious at the same time, and it's just immaculate, perfectly clean. I mean, the acoustics in the rooms are just insane. They're really good. And we talked to him, told him what we wanted to do, and we worked out a really good deal.
He's a huge rock
yeah.
fan also of this.
Also
you can
huge
see
rock
all his
fan.
albums of all the grunge time. We are very influenced by the grunge and the
era, yeah.
70s too.
Mhm.
He's a huge fan of rock, and he does a lot of other stuff that are more like happening in LA now. But he really have a special. You can feel that he really have a special
Yeah, his
feeling
heart- his heart is in rock,
we do
definitely.
this because his soul is
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
rock. And
It
Highland
definitely
Park
is.
is a great place also. I love this area.
Yeah, it's the good thing about working with a guy like that is because he's got a good ear. He knows where he's coming from, where the band is coming from.
Yep.
And then when he added some flavors here and there in some spots, sometimes he gave us some advice and say, "Hey, I think you should do this part like this." And then we flexible like that. We listen,
Right.
And the guy, he's got a good taste. And what you hear now is
That's his work. Yeah,
that's the part of it.
that's
Nice.
our all five of us. But he did a really good job. We're really happy with it. And the next stuff we do, we're definitely going to be going back to him.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, very cool. Now I know that you guys had a hard time finding a singer for a long time. You got one now. Gary, I looked at some of your other work. It's just, man, oh man. The work with Melinda Michael, something completely different from what you're doing with Strange Legend, in a way. Now, I hear Verge of Bliss, and I hear a little bit of that coming through. Now, you lived in France almost all your life. Moved to LA in 2016. What was your musical background in France, and why did you move to LA, and how did you find the guys?
Yeah, that's a funny story. I'm a pianist originally, so I did love piano in my childhood and composing since I'm 13. My voice came later. A lot of different occasions I was able to practice more in this, but really I was doing a lot of spiritual music back in Europe, like in Ibiza, in France, in South America too. I've been traveling a lot there. So it was, that's why also I'm bringing in this energy here. If you can hear like Out of Control, for example, which I think for me is one of our best songs, there is a spiritual influence, and there is a lot of world music into it with the rock to bring like a mix, like even a shamanic energy, because I did love ceremonies, all kind of ceremonies you can imagine, Native American ceremony, Mexican, all this ayahuasca, peyote stuff. And the thing is, I was singing at the same time during this time. So I was really exploring my soul and get deep into who I am. And just after that, I was in this mountain for 4 days doing this fasting, like Native American ritual. and praying and just trying to, you know, try to see a rich vision and see where I am. I just went to California for 2 weeks because I was supposed to meet my teacher at the time, and I just stayed. And that's the beginning of the trip. Is that I was actually, you could have seen me in Venice boardwalk 4 days a week, basking. You know, being part of this amazing. I'm sure you know about this boardwalk in Venice. It's feeling like you're still in the 70s sometimes.
Yeah.
And my big influence as a teenager was the Doors. I was a huge fan of the Doors, you know, like Queen, the Doors, then Led Zeppelin, and you know, all this energy. So I was like, oh my God, this is exactly where I was dreamed to be.
Yeah.
So I was just going every day there and train 6 hours a day and living like that for 1 year in Venice Boardwalk. So I feel I resonate a lot. Maybe it's a past life. Maybe it's a spiritual connection about this place in LA, California in general.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I just begin to do covers, bands. I play in the Whiskey with some cover bands here, and I was looking for a band like for, you know, original song, because I have this song in me, and I wanted also to be able to share original materials with people. And you know, I just randomly went to this website, found these people, and just did the audition. It was the first band's audition. I did an audition for it, and it was during COVID stuff. So I think actually that's why it went even deeper, because we're fucking living one of the greatest crazy time of modern history, right? We're just like, everything was locked down. We're lucky that this place was still open, and we were like, seriously. Oh my God, every Monday was like, oh my God, we need that. It's like, it's the only thing good that's happening for us all the week. You know, we're just locked down in our place, and there's nothing to do. So I think that brings also a deeper connection between us, but also in the music that we're doing. Now we already did some live, and we see that everybody asks me, when is your next show? When is your next show? Because they excited to see, to feel this energy. We now we're giving back all that we gathered
inside for so long. Exactly.
Gathered, and we're like, when are we gonna play? Fuck, is this thing gonna be over one day?
No kidding. You know, and I'm a photographer as well, and I was not doing anything for, you know, almost 2 years, no shows, and now it's like, you know, I'm every day is a show somewhere, but it's a great feeling. It's really cool. Speaking of France and your, you know, admiration of the Doors, I had a chance to go to France a couple of years back. It's my little France story. And one of the main things that I wanted to see was Jim Morrison's gravesite. You know? Nice. So that is the first place we go, right? So I have friends in England. We went over on the train, and I have my son and my daughter with me, and my daughter always wanted to go to France, right? So we go over to France, we take the metro. My son gets pickpocketed. I open up my camera bag. My cameras are smashed, both of them. I had 2 bodies with me. They're both smashed from the when they took them off in the baggage on the train. It was an absolute nightmare, but we got to see the gravesite, and we got to see the Eiffel Tower, and we made a great day out of it, and we enjoyed ourselves nevertheless. So
did you make it to the Père Lachaise?
Yeah. Yep. What is amazing.
Pretty special. That's why I always say Jim Morrison is where he wanted to be, because it's all the poets are buried there.
Yeah.
You know,
Oscar
Wilde.
Oscar Wilde. Yeah. Yeah.
All the big Molière, all the big poets that he was inspired from.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, it can be very wild in Paris, in some places too. Like like in LA in some places, and they are very fast. Yeah. They can really make it like you don't see anything happen.
You don't know nothing even happened.
Yeah.
Yep. And here I am, you know, we're from Chicago, you know, and
I love Chicago, man.
Yeah.
Wow, I have to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, because I've been to Chicago twice in my life. And actually, I love people from Chicago every time. I love people here. And I had the luck to meet Buddy Guy there.
Oh, beautiful.
He shaked his hand, and I will
Mhm.
never forget this. He was like such a strong, powerful man and energy, but such kind too at the same time.
Mhm.
It was just like this shake of hand I would never remember. So I went to see him in this Buddy Guy in Chicago, and
Yeah. Yeah. He just hangs out.
you know, one of the last legends alive like this.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and he has his own place, Buddy Guys Legends, and he just hangs out, and talks to
How
people.
old is he now? How old
What's
is he
that?
now?
Oh, he's got to be around 80. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Voice.
great being in Chicago and close to that scene. The blues here is still heavy, and yeah, it's
And
great.
as Tony said, we're a rock and roll band, and I agree with him. But I also think, in my personal case, I have a blues.
Oh yeah,
a really
of course,
blues
definitely.
color in my voice, of course, but also in my soul.
Hmm.
I feel very connected to the blues always. That's why I love the Doors, for example.
Oh no, the blues is always there. Yeah, for sure.
I think the
Yeah.
blues is the source, like Robert Johnson is the source, and it's always good to go back to the source, especially when you don't really know where everything is going down, outside.
You know what they say when it
Yep.
what is it when it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right.
Yeah. Just keep it the same. That's what works. That's what worked for so many artists.
Yeah, no, rock
still
and
works
roll
today.
is, of course, when you say the word rock and roll,
Yeah.
the blues is engraved in there.
Yeah.
There's no way to get out of it.
Yep. Yep. Blues had a baby, and he named it rock and roll for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this
Yeah.
one.
Even nowadays,
Hell yeah.
you see the one of the most popular people in pop music and blues, John Mayer, a guy like John Mayer, that he's still playing blues and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you got Adele, that she's pop, but you can tell that there's a lot of blues influence there.
Hmm.
So you can tell that the people,
So comfortable.
they don't know what they're hearing, but they know they like it, and that's the reason. That's the blues behind it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And when you get away from that, I'm sorry, but it's
There's
like
no
getting
soul.
into a different
Right.
territory.
This is the soul of rock and roll, the blues.
Yes, I was gonna say, and that it's about soul. The blues has that kind of thing. And Gary, when I listened to what you were doing, and you talk about spirituality and stuff like that, and finding yourself, and it's deep, and it's
Yeah.
from here more than it is here, even.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's very, very powerful, and I felt that. I come through, and the Strange Legend stuff carries over from what you were doing before with the world music, and you guys are a rockin' band, but it has a soul, it has a spirituality, and that is a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad you felt it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
definitely, I think, our unicity in the rock probably is that we are bringing this soul, from a lot of different type of music. Even not even music. I've been doing acting like for many years with Jack Welser. He's one of the greatest teacher alive, and he studied with all this master and tried to connect to your guts and express really the soul that is inside of you without the mind that is blocking it. So it's really, I think, all this process that you're hearing now. It's about mixing all the good that rock and roll brings, and the blues and the world, and bring it to make people feel themselves, actually.
Yeah.
Help them to connect with themselves, because you always connect with a song if you resonate with something that is inside of you already. So you cannot connect with a song if you don't have a part of it in yourself, and that's what we're trying to wake.
Yeah, and like I said before, Verge of Bliss has so much of that. It's just such a great song. Real spiritual influence to that one. The flamenco like guitar parts, just great. That song is a little bit. It's a little more towards that spiritual world music feel. Did that come together differently for you guys? Was that a different process for that one?
Well,
he wrote the entire song, and then I wrote a bass line.
Yeah.
And then
well, the song, like Gary said, the song has been evolving. You know,
Yeah.
It's been fermenting for maybe 2-3 years. I wrote the riff, and then I had some lyrics, and then I put them all together, and then he had the bass line, then
Sam had some guitar
Yeah,
parts.
I actually played rhythm guitar in that song. So
yeah, he had some guitars.
Cool.
it's fun.
And then at the very last minute, when we were ready, when Gary came in, he made a even more beautiful work on the chorus.
Yep.
And then we started working on it because we were gonna go into the recording section. We said, well, we better have it finished because otherwise it's gonna take us a lot of money, you know. So we better have it finished.
Right.
And then we started working on the chorus, and I came out with the harmony. He started singing in a different way, even better than the way I had it. And then Sam had another ideas for the last chorus of all the instruments.
Yeah, that last chorus, man, when Tony first brought it to me, you know, we'll sit in here sometimes and just kind of jam out songs, figure out parts. And always at the end of that song, I was like, man, at the end of their song, there's something big there. And I go, I don't know what it is, but eventually we're going to figure it out. And then 2 years later, we go in the studio, you know, we get it set up, recording it. And we came up with the idea for like a choir, like a backup choir. You know, you'd see you got the 3 chicks on the side of the stage doing the backup vocals.
Mm-hmm.
We're the 3 chicks.
Yeah. Right. They're the 3 chicks.
My long hair.
You're beautiful too, man.
I know, they're very beautiful. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, it was crazy. And then, you know, we put it together. And then I had parts that I did some MIDI work on, just on the keyboard. I changed the sounds. We got the right sound. And then after that, we heard it when it was done. And I was like, man, that is exactly what has been missing this whole time. And it closes out the song beautifully, you know?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a great song. It's really something. You said you're going to work with your producer again. You're looking for a label. Is that something you're looking for, or are you happy doing this independently?
So I'll answer that one for sure. Because I'm kind of the guy who's been running the show, I guess you could say, as far as booking gigs, studio time.
We have a manager inside our band.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah. So and
Nice.
I don't mind it. I love it. You know, it's great. I have a good time. You know, I do the editing for the videos and the Instagram stuff, which Tony's been helping me out with. So that's been a great help. Because it is time consuming, and you know we're working shifts. You know,
Yep.
It is what it is. It's okay, no problem.
Yep.
2021, man.
Yep. But I mean, if there was
challenges for rock bands.
If there was something that if someone that wanted to approach us and you know have a meeting or whatnot, I mean, I wouldn't decline him sitting him down and talking about something.
Cool.
Because eventually, if things keep you know going, we're eventually going to need some help.
Yeah.
The main reason about that is when a band, you know, like a band like us, independent band that have to take over the business side of it, it's so much time of your creativity that time that you're supposed to be in the studio creating something, you have to put it on like booking a gig, finding this, you know, the teachers.
Yeah,
it's like a whole thing behind it that's not we are.
The last year, I spent more time on the computer and my phone with Instagram and promoting us than I did behind the drum set.
Right.
Yeah,
well, you know
so
what they say?
insane.
I heard in the
It's
radio 2 days ago. It's funny that just before the interview, that Instagram killed the rock star.
Yeah.
That's interesting, and I'm like, yeah, because they need to spend so much time because they make so much money on the social media.
Yeah, it's
but it's also you know, changing a bit the idea. You can have a rock star like you know, Jimmy Page or Robert Plant or Jim Morrison, these kind of people. But it's also how it is now in 2021. You have to deal with all these things. So it's you have to find the balance, like in everything. You know, you have to see the good in everything and what can help you, but not be also too
much
too stuck in this and lost the most important part, which is like the composition.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Jody was. Before we forget, Jody. We've been working with Jody.
Thank you, Jody. Wherever you are.
Thank her, really.
And she's doing a good job so far. And then it's a good thing what she's doing. You can tell that she got a really love for rock and roll.
Well, she comes from that, you know.
And it's a beautiful thing what she's doing, what you guys are doing, right? Like breaking away from the establishment, you know, and taking the stuff to the people, you know, without no filters, just like, and let them decide. Let the people decide. Don't be like the arbiters, you know, like the radio and stuff. Like they're in the middle, they decide what you like or what you don't like.
Exactly.
That's what we got here. So to this point,
that's a good thing now. By the time we're living now, that we can connect directly to you because of this, you know, ecosystem of internet and stuff. There is a good thing in this. There is less intermediaries between the public and the band.
Yeah,
right.
You can reach the public also more directly. So this is a good thing. It's not to say that everything is bad, of course. Yeah. There is a very good purity in that stuff. The relation is pure, right? No filters.
Yep.
And I think that's a great thing. Also, that's
what you guys are doing is great, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, you know, I did this when I started staying home with my kids. I you know, my kids are grown now, but you know, about 20 years ago, I started to stay home with my kids. I was full time, working my ass off, and you know, more double full time, really. But you know, we decided that somebody stay home with the kids. I stayed home with the kids, and I decided that I'm gonna do what I love to do. I listen to music. I write about music. I'm going to take it to the people. And I never had a chance to do that because I was always working. So I took care of the kids at night. I wrote reviews and exposed people to new music. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's so rewarding. You know, guys like yourself, unsigned, working hard, doing the best you can with what you got, and you have heart and soul in it. That is, you know, that's, if you can't appreciate that, man, there's something wrong. So there are a lot of people that appreciate guys like yourself.
And in these times, it's even harder because you say, if you look back, if you say, well, back in the 80s, 90s, there was a scene here in LA, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you were doing all that, there was some reward because you go to the clubs and the clubs were packed, and then, you know? But nowadays it's even harder. You really have to really love it.
The market,
because you walk on the Sunset Strip, and it's like nothing's going on. And then wherever you do a show, it's hard to bring people, and then everything is so scattered.
Yeah, and then you know the market's saturated out here too, man. I mean, there's bands forever. Yeah, you know, like it's insane. Yeah. So to stand out above any of those bands, it's like you really gotta be hustling and bustling to.
You gotta get it all.
Yeah. And then the other thing, the clubs could do a little better job, you know, working with bands that they think they got some good talent, and then instead of like, you know, making it really difficult when it comes to the selling tickets and stuff. Why don't you make it like a scene, you know? You bring a good band tonight, and then you bring it back again, and then that start pulling people. You know, and all of a sudden, in a few months, it start catching up.
Yeah.
And then you bring another band, and then all of a sudden you have a whole night of good bands, and then you got a bunch of people. But the clubs, they're not doing that. They're just setting up for the next weekend and the next weekend. And then
that's a shame because in the mid 80s, that scene was, as we all know, it was hot, like really, really hot. And you know, it was the clubs really caring and nurturing these bands, taking them in, and you know, really
artist
development out there. Was that
artist development, right?
Yeah, it's really what it was, you know, by the clubs as well as the labels. You know, so that's not really the culture anymore. So
it is what it is. Like,
it is what it is.
Look at how much it affects that whole. I would say it's from in the 60s all the way to the mid 90s. The effect that because the Americans might not see it. We are foreigners, you know. I'm from Cuba. Cuban Spanish, and he's from France, like, you know,
French Tunisian.
We basically came to America for that energy, that culture, you know, that we were expecting. And then when I never played an instrument in Cuba when I was growing up, never saw an instrument store, just to put it this way. I like that. So I came here to the U.S. and then working dead-end jobs over there in Miami until like one day I decided to pick up the guitar. You know who got me into the guitar? Because sometimes I argue with him, with the bass player, with Josh. He said, the videos are not that important. I said, you have no idea how much an image in a video can play in a little kid. I remember the first time I got that bug in my head to be a guitar player. I just remember seeing the video of Aerosmith, Living on the Edge.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Joe
I see
Perry?
the part when, and I see the part when Joe Perry's on the train track.
Yeah.
And then the train is coming. I say, damn, that motherfucker is cool. And then I see, oh, the train is gonna get him, and he gets off the train. And it's like, damn, that would be something cool to do. And I was like, well, here in America, anything could happen. We can do it for the next one.
Oh, we can do it for the next one. All right.
You got a train.
You can stand for it.
So yeah,
I'm gonna be over on that side.
So yeah, I picked up the guitar like by coincidence. I almost returned it 3 days later because that thing was insane. And but I kept going, I kept going, and until I started coming out with stuff, developing that rock feel, because I used to be to Latin music and techno music and a bunch of music, but no, wasn't rock and roll. The rock and roll that I always heard in Cuba.
Paco de Lucia, right?
It was mostly, that came after.
Yeah. I saw him live actually in France. I was also a big. I was being very influenced by all these flamenco players. I saw Vicente Amigo here too. It's like when you see them live, it's like they are levitating almost. They're not. You see their aura is light. They are really. They are masters.
Yeah.
But that was the journey, and once I figured it all out, I said, "Oh, I think I developed a feel," and I had a few ideas, and said, "Pack my bags and head over here to California, to see that place that everybody was talking about." And when I get here, I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" but I was like, "No, I'm gonna do this. I got some good stuff in my pocket, so I think I can put something together." And then it took me a while to put my first band, and then we rolled for like 3-4 years. It wasn't quite there, even the creative process was a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I met Sam. I contacted Sam.
Yeah, I called in sick on my first day of work.
Yeah.
Hey, so kind of what happened, it was like July 4th weekend. I was supposed to meet him at Bedrock Studio up in LA, and I was having a great time that 4th of July. And well, one of my fingers, I was having too much fun, and I got excited, and I got this gnarly freaking bruise, whatever you want to call it, like right here in my hand, right where the fulcrum of your drumstick goes, right?
Right. I'm
like, hey, Tony, can we meet another day? And I thought for sure that was, I go, man, I'm probably gonna have to find another one, someone else to play music, because I'm not a fan of that. And he gave me a second chance. And
that's cool.
Like, what?
It's hard to put it back together when you're not coming like from your bodies from school, and then you usually like get foreigner in the middle of nowhere that you don't know which direction you're gonna go. You don't have any friends, so you say, "How the hell do I start this?"
Right.
So the way it happened is, I started looking for drummers and bass players, and then one time I would set up a rehearsal or practice with the drummer to see if we gel, and then the guy, "Hey, you got some good stuff, but you don't have bass player. Call me when you have bass player." And then when I get the bass player, it will be maybe weeks after that.
Right.
Then the bass player would show up, and then when I called the drummer, I said, "Bro, I'm sorry, I'm doing something."
Of course.
And it was like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like that forever. It was insane. And then I said, "Well, I'm gonna do a strategy. So if I get the singer, and I think everybody's gonna come in crawling,
Right.
And that's why, I started looking for singers, and then I hooked up with that singer, and then everybody started coming together easier. Okay. So I said, well, I'll figure this out, It was a hard work, but that band didn't work, and then I did it all again with these guys, and it worked.
That's cool. That's cool. How are you guys going to be releasing music in the future? A lot of people are releasing singles at a time, or EPs like you guys did. It's almost kind of rare to see a full-length record.
It is.
So what do you guys have in mind for the future?
As far as I'm concerned, I think we're going to be doing the EP single strategy. Mm-hmm. Doing an album's great, but I mean, if you have a bunch of people out there and you can only get them to listen to one song, what the hell the good is going to be making a full album? Yeah. I mean, until you get to that level where you can do that. And then plus with distribution, I mean, you're not selling records anymore. You're selling streams. Yeah. So, I mean, if CDs come back, make a comeback or something, I mean, which probably won't ever happen. But yeah, no, it's probably going to be the single route and EP. And the way we kind of write in bunches. kind of like birds eat food, you know, a little bit here and there. It's probably going to be like that. So I would keep a lookout for that, because we're already trying to set something up for, like, I think it's like another 3 songs or something, 2 or 3 songs that we're going to do.
Cool.
So that could be another EP right there.
Yeah. Excellent. You guys plan to head on out of LA and see the world? You plan on any kind of a tour?
Well, right now we're looking at some possibilities. We're talking to some people, see what can be done, you know, in that regard. But as far as something solid, still not because, you know, it takes some funding to make it.
A little bit of this, a little bit of shit. So yeah, hopefully in the future, yeah. I mean, if something hops up in our lap and presents itself, I mean, we won't be shy from it. But
we'd love to go to South America,
yeah,
for sure, like Mexico.
Brazil, yeah, we get played all the time in Brazil. It's nuts. There's a guy down there we've been talking to, and they love it.
Australia too.
Really Australia,
yeah. That's the whole point, you know, to get out there into the world. But it takes some help behind it, you know.
Yeah.
To go on the road bare bone like that, it's not easy.
Well, we have Nomad Soul for sure, so we will not be
Nomad Soul. You got that right.
Yeah. Traveling all my life, so I'm here now, and always had this Nomad Soul. So
yeah, we open to any possibility that, you know, whoever is hearing us listen to this podcast.
Give us money for a tour.
Well, he's straight to the point.
So my message would be, you know,
God damn it, Josh.
keep listening to the music, you know, keep following us, whatever you get, whatever media or whatever platform you are, because that's the best support. When the people are behind you, that's your biggest leverage, you know.
That's the best one.
Yep.
And if the music takes off that way, it will be a beautiful thing. That's when possibilities can come.
Yeah.
That way. So I'll say to the people listening, they keep supporting the band and rock and roll in general. You know, there's a bunch of
any live music you can go to it, man. Pay $10 at the door.
Yeah.
You know, help artists out, because it's crazy times right now.
There's a bunch of new bands that they're coming up to, and it will help create the whole euphoria again, you know. So,
and I think also our music is get all this power when it's sing live, because I mean, for the rock style that we do, I think the 2 live that we did, we had a crazy feedback, and I think it's a lot about the energy also you give to the people.
Yeah.
And in that matter, we give it all, and we love to just go like all without, and I think this is the essence of rock music is for live, for sure.
Yeah, we are a live band for sure.
Definitely live. I'll put it this way: what you hear on the recording is what you're going to hear live. Yeah. No mumbo jumbo computerized drums or guitar. It's the real deal.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Not auto-tune.
And no auto-tune. You guys got shows coming up now? You got any scheduled?
So we're working with someone right now. We're supposed to have a show down in Long Beach on the 29th, but I can't give anything out right now just because it's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
But we have a few other places I'm trying to get a hold of, and then there's a place, Universal Bar and Grill in North Hollywood. Okay. That's going to be the 7th, Tony. Yeah. Right? That's a Friday night, and I think we're doing that around 9:00. But I mean, that's a couple months out.
Mm-hmm.
But keep an eye out on our social pages, and because I'm sure we're gonna get at least a couple more shows, but before the end of the year.
Cool, cool. And everybody can find you at Strange Legend, right?
Strange Legend or Strange Legend Official.
Cool.
Just kind of how it's set up.
Yeah, very cool. Well, guys, it's been a blast, man. I'd love to hang out again. Let's do it again. Jody is. I'll tell you, Jody. I've been doing this about 19 years now, and she's the best, man. She really is. And there are great PR people and publicists out there, but everybody that she brings to me charts. It's crazy. It's all just about everybody. So, if you're with Jody, you're in good hands. I gotta tell you, no doubt. And you guys got you guys got the heart and soul for it. I see great things happening. Really, I'm looking forward to watching you guys grow. for sure.
Okay.
For sure, man.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
All right, man. Let's do it again. Take care, everybody. Strange legend.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Take care, baby. Crank it up.
Thank you.
Crank it up.
Absolutely.
Crank it
I
up.
love to your cat.
Yeah, we love your cat, by the way.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Remind me
See you
to
guys. Thanks.
take your gadget.
Bye.